students, Standard 9, Subject Science 1. Already last lecture we have started our lesson number 5, acids, bases and salts. And in that we have studied that salts are formed by the reaction in between the acids and bases. And this reaction is called as the neutralization reaction. So, what is the meaning of neutralization reaction? That salts are formed, the reaction in between the acids and bases, it is called as the neutralization reaction. Now, today we are starting our next point of the lesson is types of salts. There are 3 types of salts are present. See that which types are there? Acidic salt, basic salt and neutral salt. Now what is the meaning of acidic salt? How they are formed? Acidic salts are formed by the neutralization reaction in between strong acid and the weak base. Understanding to everyone? How acidic salts are formed? The neutralization reaction in between strong acid and the weak base, and it has pH less than 7. Okay. Now basic salt. Basic salts are formed by neutralization reaction in between strong base and weak acid. Neutralization reaction in between strong base and the weak acid, and pH of basic salt is more than or greater than 7. Now the third one type is neutral salt. Neutral salts are formed by the neutralization reaction between strong acid and the strong base, in between which strong acid and the strong base, and it has pH equal to the 7 because it is neutral. So pH is equal to 7. So understood to everyone which are the types of salt? Acidic salt means neutralization reaction between strong acid, weak base. Basic salt means neutralization reaction in between strong base and the weak acid, and neutral salt means neutralization reaction in between strong acid and the strong base. Now let us see the next point. The next point is water of crystallization. But before seeing the details about the water of crystallization or meaning of the water of crystallization, we will see the small activity. Okay, see here 2 test tubes I have drawn on the blackboard. So what is the activity here? Take 2 test tubes and take some crystals of copper sulfate. Copper sulfate is also known as the blue vitriol. What is the another name of copper sulfate? Blue vitriol. So you have to take some crystals of copper sulfate in 2 test tubes. In 1 test tube add some water. Now what change you can see there? You can see blue colored solution is formed. Now in another test tube also some crystals of copper sulfates are there. Here you have to give heat on low flame by using the burner. So heat this test tube on low flame. Now what will be the change there? You can see that colorless powder remained here downside part of the test tube, and some drops of water are collected inside the test tube into that upper part of the test tube. Understanding? Now why these drops of water are collected here, and why that blue color that get converted into the white color? Because of water of crystallization. Now see the meaning. what is the meaning of water crystallization? On heating, the crystalline structure of blue vitriol breaks down to form a colorless powder, and water is released. This water is part of the crystal structure of blue vitriol. Now, water of crystallization means what? That which chemical substance we have took here? Blue vitriol. Blue vitriol means what? Copper sulfate. On heating, what changes you have observed in this activity? The crystalline structure of blue vitriol breaks down to form a colorless powder. Colorless powder means whitish powder. We can see here downside part of the test tube, and water is released. Now, where is water released? It is collected into the upper part of the test tube. Okay, and this water is a part of the crystal structure. It is a part of the crystal structure of blue vitriol, and this process is known as the water of crystallization. Now see how the chemical reaction occurs here. That is crystalline blue vitriol. What is the chemical formula for it? CuSO4. Crystalline blue vitriol means copper sulfate only. That dot FiH2O. Why crystalline written here? Because definite proportion of water of crystallization are present in the blue vitriol, and so we have written here crystalline blue vitriol. When we give heat to that crystalline blue vitriol, that white colored powder is get collected downside of the test tube, and some drops of water get collected upper part of the test tube. It means the water gets separated, get released from the blue vitriol. But after some time, when you pull this test tube, after pulling off this test tube, when you will add some water in this test tube, it regains its blue color again. Means it shows again blue color. It means that on heating, that blue color loses water from it, and when you add water in the test tube, at that time it regains its color and it becomes blue color solution. So, understanding that which type of reaction occurs when we give heat to the crystalline blue vitriol. Now, there are different types of that examples are included in the water of crystallization, and definite proportion of water is present in the chemical formulae of the compound. Two examples I have written here. In that, the first one example is crystalline ferrous sulfate. Now, if you will see that chemical formula of it, the chemical formula or molecular formula of crystalline ferrous sulfate. Ferrous sulfate means FeSO4, and we have written crystalline here, means a definite proportion of water is present in it. And total how many molecules of water are there? 7H2O. And the second one example is crystalline washing soda. In washing soda, here definite proportion of water molecules are present, so the name given what? Crystalline washing soda. So these are two examples, and again few examples are there which are included in the examples of water of crystallization. Now let us see the next point, ionic compounds and electrical conductivity. But for this point, that before starting the details about this point, we will see one small experiment related to the ionic compounds and electrical conductivity. Let us see that experiment. Make a circuit as shown here and insert the electrodes and add sodium chloride. Switch on and observe. You will observe that the bulb glows. The NaCl solution dissociates into sodium ions and chloride ions. The conduction of electricity through a solution involves the movement of charged particles. A solution of an ionic compound in water contains ions moves to the opposite electrodes when electricity is passed through the solution. What you have observed in the experiment? The bulb glows only when the electric current starts to pass into it. And when electric current starts to pass into it, when the electric circuit is complete. In the experiment you have observed that when NaCl solution is used, at that time that electric circuit is completed. It means NaCl solution is a conductor of electricity. Now in this experiment, electrons conducts electricity through the electrical wires, and ions conduct electricity through the liquid or a solution. Now let us see some points related to the ionic compound and electrical conductivity. Now we will see the information related to the electrodes. Now what is the meaning of electrodes? In the electrical circuit, when there is a liquid or a solution, there are two rods, two plates or two wires are immersed in it, and these are called as the electrodes. Understanding to everyone? Electrodes means what? That whatever two rods or two wires or two plates that inserted into the solution or the liquid, these are called as the electrodes. Now electrodes which are present at the negative terminal of the battery, these are called as the cathode, and electrodes which are present at the positive terminal of battery, these are called as the anode. Here by experiment also you have seen that positively charged ions get attracted towards the negative electrode. Negative electrode means what? Cathode. And negatively charged ions get attracted towards the positive electrode means what? An anode. And according to that, liquid or solution which contain a large number of dissociated ions conduct electricity. Now dissociated means what? Which go in free state. Dissociation means what? Which go in a free state. And this is about the electrodes. Now let us see the next point is electrolysis. For electrolysis we will see one small experiment, and after that we will see the details about this point. Let us see that experiment. Electrolysis is the dissociation of an electrolyte into ions at the electrodes by the passage of electric current. Let us see how an electrolyte dissociates when electric current passes through it. Take a wide glass vessel containing a saturated solution of copper sulfate. The aqueous copper sulfate solution dissociates into copper ions and sulfate ions. The dissociation of copper sulfate solution, that is, the electrolyte, is a reversible reaction. Introduce two copper electrodes into the electrolyte. The copper electrodes are connected to the terminal of a battery. The cathode is at a lower potential than the anode. Therefore, the positively charged copper ions, which are generally refractive as a cation, move towards the cathode, whereas the negatively charged sulfate ions, that is anion, move towards to the anode, which is at a higher potential. What exactly is happening at the electrodes? At the cathodes, copper ion get neutralized by the incoming electrons from the external circuit and copper gets deposited on the cathode, whereas the sulfate ions reacts with copper to form copper sulfate. Due to the formation of copper sulfate, the concentration of the electrolyte remains the same. Now only have observed the experiment related to the electrolysis. Now we will see the meaning of the electrolysis. See, what is the meaning of electrolysis? Decomposition of the solute in the solution took place due to the electric current. It is called as the electrolysis. Now, decomposition of solute means what? Solute means the substance which dissolved in the solution. It is known as the solute. So, the decomposition of the solute in the solution took place. Why it took place? Due to the electric current. It is called as electrolysis. Here, the second point related to that is electrolytes. Electrolytes means the substances which undergo dissociation to great extent in the liquid state. In which state? Only in the liquid state or in the solution. These are called as the electrolytes. What is the meaning of electrolyte? Substances which undergo dissociation. Dissociation means already you have studied about it, to go in a free state. To great extent in the liquid state, these substances are called as electrolytes. And the next one point is about the electrolytic cell. Electrolytic cell means an assembly that consists of a container. It means one type of a container is there with an electrolyte and two electrodes dipped in it. Okay, two electrodes means that two wires should be there, two plates are there, or sometimes two rods also there. So one type of a container is there which contain an electrolyte and two electrodes dipped in it. This assembly is called as the electrolytic cell. So understood everyone about the electrolysis, electrolytes and the electrolytic cell. Now let us see the last point of the lesson. The last point of the lesson is electrolysis of water. For this point also we will see one experiment, and after that I will tell you the meaning of the electrolysis of water. So let us see that experiment. If electricity is used for decomposing a substance, it is called as electrolysis. When electricity is passed through acidic water, it decomposes into oxygen and hydrogen gases. That water is a bad conductor of electricity. Therefore, a little salt or little alkali is added to water for easy conduction of electricity. Dissolve a little quantity of acid in water. Pour the solution in an apparatus as shown in here. Fill two test tubes with solution and see that no air bubbles are present. Invert these test tubes over the iron nails. These are called electrodes. Connect these outer electrodes to the positive and negative terminals of a battery. You can see that gases are produced in the two test tubes. After 30 minutes, examine the volume of each gas formed in the test tube. Are the volume of gases equal? Introduce a glowing splinter into the test tube in which less amount of gas is formed. This splinter burns brightly, therefore we can say this gas is oxygen. Introduce another glowing splinter into the test tube in which more volume of gas is formed and observe it. This splinter is put out with pop sound, but the gas burns with blue flame. Hydrogen possesses this property. Therefore, we can say that the gas present in this test tube is hydrogen. In this way, sending electricity through water and decomposing it into oxygen. In this way, sending electricity through water and decomposing it into oxygen and hydrogen is called electrolysis. Now, you have observed the experiment related to the electrolysis of water. Now, we will see the meaning of the electrolysis of water. Electrolysis of water is the decomposition of water into oxygen and hydrogen gas due to an electric current being passed through acidified water. Why acidified water is written here? Because when pure water is used there, at that time electric current does not pass through it. Because pure water is a bad conductor of electricity. So when decomposition of water into oxygen and hydrogen gas, it occurs due to the electric current being passed through the acidified water. Acidified means in which acid is mixed. It is called as the electrolysis of water. And in this process, that hydrogen is released near the cathode and oxygen is released near the anode. And with this point, our lesson number 5, acid, bases and salts, is completed. Now, whatever notes written on the blackboard, you have to note down in your notebook, and with that, you have to start to solve the exercise of lesson number 5, acid, bases and salts.